Hello, I'm Reagan Kent, and I'm going to teach you a lesson on adding and subtracting, reviewing, with beginning simplifying fractions. Today, we're just going to review a little bit on adding and subtracting, and I'm going to teach you how to use a multiplication chart to help reduce our fractions that we're learning. So here we go. We have 1/4 plus 1/2. To get a common denominator, we're going to find out what 4 and 2 both have in common. So I would find 2 and go down. 2 has 2 and 4, which is the same number that 4 has. So we're going to use 4 as a common denominator. Now we have to find out what each of these numbers needs to get to 4. 4 to 4 is times 1, because 4 times 1 is 4. So now whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So 1 times 1 is 1. Now, how many times can 2 go into 4? If we didn't know, we could find our 2 again and count. 1, 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. So 1 times 2 is 2. Now we can just add. 1 plus 2 equals 3. And we leave our bottom alone, so we have 3/4. This would be our warm-up for the day, and I would have them do it on their own for the first few minutes, and then we would review it. So we go into the next one. We have to find a common denominator for 3 and 6. So we find our 3, we go to 6, and we can use 6. Because 6 has the same number. So 6 times 1 is 6, because anything times 1 is itself. 5 times 1 is 5. Now how many times can 3 go into 6? 1, 2. And times it by 2. Times that by 2. You get 8. 5 plus 8. I always have them write out what they're adding so you can see it. That's 13/6. And that looks kind of funny, and we'll talk about this fraction in a little while. Alright, now we're going to try subtraction. We're going to review it. Since we do not have the same bottom, we have to get a common denominator again. It's the same thing we do with adding. We find 4 and 7, and we go down until we have the same number. Our same number on 4 and 7 is 28. Alright, now how many times was it for 7 to go into 28? 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 to go into 7 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we have to do what we did to the bottom to the top. 10 times 4 is 40. And 7 times 3 is, we didn't know, 21. So now we have to do our subtraction problem. Our bottom number stays the same, so we can go ahead and write that. We need to figure out our top. So we have 40 minus 21. We would borrow and subtract. We have 19/28. Our next problem says 2/5 minus 1/5. We have to get a common denominator for this one? No, because it's the same. So we just do our subtraction. 2 minus 1. Our bottom number stays the same. 2 minus 1 is 1. So our answer is 1/5. Okay, I would usually have them do about 6 or 7 of these, but we're going to go on and we're going to talk about reducing or adding and subtracting fractions. So I use the example of 2/3 plus 8/3. Our bottom number is the same, so we don't have to get a common denominator. So we just add 8 plus 2 is 10/3. So we can go into 10 and say, can 3 go into 10 evenly? So we do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we see how many times 3 can go into it. 1, 2, 3. And we have 1 left over. So there's nothing we can reduce this by. So we would just leave this alone for now until we talked about improper fractions. Now we're going to try a new one. 2/3 plus 7/3. We have the same denominator, so all we have to do is work our problem. 7 plus 2 is 9. And our bottom number is the same, 3. Now we have 9/3. Since it's a small number, we can draw it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we have 3. Let's see how many 3's we go in. 1, 2, 3. So 3 goes into 9 times 3 times. 3 goes into 3 1 time. 1, 2, 3. 1 time. So our answer would be 3 for this problem. Another way, if we look at our multiplication chart, find 3 and find 9. 1, 2, 3. So we would know our answer would be 3 by using our multiplication table. Let's try another one. 1/2 plus 1/6. Okay, now we have to get a common denominator. So 2 will go into 6 how many times? 1, 2, 3. So we times it by 3. So 3/6 and 3/, I'm sorry, my son just messed me up. 2 will go into 6 3 times, and to use 6 it would be times 1, so it would be 1. So now we have 4 is 3 plus 1 is 4, and our common denominator is 6. So we have 4, 6. And they're both even numbers. So we can see how many times we can break these down. What goes into 4 and 6 evenly? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it's even, 2 will usually go into it. Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2. So 2 goes into 4 twice. Let's see how many times 2 goes into 6. 1, 2, 3. So if we divide it by 2, 2 goes into 4 2 times, and 2 goes into 6 3 times. And we have 2/3. 2 cannot go into 3 equally, so we just leave it alone. I would spend a little more time on this with my classroom, as we usually do, and I would explain how to simplify improper fractions. And we would just go through the lesson like that. I believe that this builds on a whole year, and that's why I chose this lesson, because it's very important. I will take advantage of my smartboard and other learning websites, just as we do in our content mastery class. I believe this is definitely an important lesson for all grades, not just 6th, 7th, or 8th. Thank you, and I really appreciate your patience. I'm sorry it took me so long to get this in. I hope you enjoy my lesson, and sorry about the interruption. Thank you.